Hello there, I'm Tania Gabrielle, Wealth Astronumerologist. Welcome to your Scorpio New Moon and mid-November Astrology Numerology forecast. Now there are several really important events to tell you about besides that new moon, and I'll get into all of those with you in this video. Now first, we have an exquisite new moon in the sign of Scorpio on November 11th. Such incredible new beginnings surrounding this new moon. Now, of course, in Scorpio, everything runs deep. So you'll be feeling a lot more during this new moon. It'll almost feel a little bit like a full moon, which full moons are more emotional. Well, this will feel a bit like that. So now it happens during the 11th month of November. And it happens on the 11th of November, which is a huge magnification of that number 11. So 11 is a visible portal, right? Two ones. You're walking through that gateway into the unknown. You're being so completely present in the moment that you have no thought about anything in the future. So you're not thinking about the past, whether it's a minute ago, a week ago, or many years ago. You're just in the moment. So you're just breathing in, being fully immersed and invested as if it was the only moment that ever mattered. This is the place that you feel inside the hurricane, where there's utter calmness and peace no matter what is going on. So you're in the field of life, you're playing the game of life, you're experiencing living in the 11 code, and that's allowing you to discard any worries, right? About the future or memories or how things should be. All of that is discarded. Instead, you're only focusing on what is happening right now. How are you being right now? Right? So this 11/11 new moon is all about gaining a totally fresh perspective, because any new moon is about new beginnings, right? Every month we have that moment. But when you add the number 10 for November, because November is a 10 universal month, and then you add the 2 ones for 11, and then you realize that there are 2 11s on this day because it's the 11th and 11th. This is like quadruple new beginnings, or even beyond that. It's really, really powerful. And then there's another part of the code too that I have to tell you about, because the new moon happens when the sun and moon are at 19 degrees in Scorpio, and 19 is the Prince of Heaven number, your inner light, and 1 plus 9 is 10. And that's also about new beginnings, because 1 plus 0 for 10 is 1. So again, we have another 1. 19, the root number for 19 is 1. So it's all about transforming, releasing, making room for something new. Number 19 is the 1 and the 9, the beginning and the ending. So it's about shifting. And you'll see in the astrology, which I'll get to in a moment, it's all about shifting right now, changing. So we've got another new beginnings energy in the degree number across the board, right? So you really have no choice with this new moon but to move the momentum forward, to claim independence, to claim freedom. You're proclaiming to the world that you're absolutely going for it. You're jumping in with both feet. So the sun and moon form a beautiful trine to Chiron. That's a very healing moment that we're having, because it's connected to gaining a new perspective because of the new moon, but paying attention to messages that are signals on how to move forward and how to heal from past emotional patterns. That's what you're really focusing on. And this message of breakthroughs, like I said, it's charged up in other places of this new moon code as well. So in the sacred geometry, the sun and moon form a sextile to Pluto and a sextile to Jupiter. So this means Jupiter and Pluto are forming a trine, and that's been going on all month long. So it's being triggered by this new moon. And this trine is about creating abundance. So the fact that the Scorpio new moon encapsulates new beginnings, right, in every which way, and it also triggers this beautiful triangle between Pluto and Jupiter, and with the new moon in the middle of the triangle. This is about wealth and joy and abundance and success. It's really exciting because the forecast for you moving forward now with new beginnings is about being successful, living in harmony with your wealth code, and doing this with confidence and a sense of real achievement. So that's what this code means. So immerse your whole attitude completely in manifesting right now. Now, another heavenly formation with the Scorpio new moon is that it's forming a beautiful finger of God. Now, finger of God in astrology is a powerful and very spiritual geometric shape. In this case, the actual finger is pointing to Uranus. So the new moon is in Scorpio, Jupiter's on this side, and then they point to Uranus. And so this brings a wonderful expansion of joy and love and fortunate opportunities. So your whole environment about spiritual wealth, spiritual well-being is changing. Now, this finger of God also activates a consecutive numerology code of 17, 18, and 19. Those are the degree numbers for all 3 points on this finger of God. Now, 17, 18, 19 is a strong invitation to unlock and fully focus on what's next for you as we move into the final weeks of the year. So it's really important now to look at what the finger of God is pointing to, and that's Uranus. Now, Uranus shakes things up. In order for us to open our eyes to new reality, there needs to be movement. So what's happening is now with Uranus is that it's also moving closer, again, to this square with Pluto. So this transit began 3.5 years ago. And it's not going to be exact this time, but by January, these two planets are going to be really, really, really close together. Not exact, but close together. So this finger of God being pointed at Uranus, your life is being shaken up in some way, some kind of really deep programming, especially regarding self-empowerment and also relationships. See, self-empowerment is what Pluto is about, right? And shaking up is what Uranus is about. And in this new moon period, we're all about relationships right now. So it's about clearing out old patterns about those items, okay? So letting them go. So Uranus is saying, I'm going to make you feel and think differently now. And the way in which you're going to feel this is by experiencing unexpected turns of events. So you're welcoming unexpected shifts in your habits. You're going to expand your wisdom, which is Jupiter, and get to the truth, right? So your heart will be engaged in a big way since the new moon is pointing to Uranus on one side and the moon is very emotional, right? This finger of God on one side is pointing from the new moon. And then the opportunity in inner wisdom is also being engaged because Jupiter on the other side is pointing to Uranus. So it's really a very, very healing and amazing finger of God. Now you'll be feeling this understanding and growth and possible shakeups even in the days prior to the new moon because it's very, very strong. Now Uranus also wants you to be super, super flexible. So you keep breathing into that 11-11 walk through the gateway moment. It is an awakening. It's going to show your way to freedom. And Jupiter, the new moon, and Uranus are going to free up your energetic patterns, the old ones, the ones that need to be set free so that you're liberated from the past. Now you can see how this beautiful new moon is just incredible. I mean, we're coming from October, right, which was a 9 universal month of endings into this new beginnings month of November, this 10-1 month. And now you can move forward in this new moon with great joy and excitement because you can see through to the other side, see through the portal. You can see the opportunities on the other side of that 11 gateway now. And that's what I absolutely love about this moment. So it's a really big time for awakening, a really big time to shift your consciousness and to take all that you've discovered over the past 3.5 years or so and apply it in a real way. So then a day after the new moon, we have another big event. This is really important. This happens on the 12th. There are actually two things that happen, but the really big one is that the two lunar nodes, the north and south node of the moon, change signs on November 12th. Now the nodes will be moving from Aries, Libra into Pisces, Virgo. And the lunar nodes, they move backwards. So that they move backwards through the signs. So in September 2013, the moon and the two nodes of the moon moved into Aries and Libra, that axis, the cardinal axis. And now, and that's why the eclipses, by the way, have been in Libra and Aries, right? But now this really important shift into Virgo and Pisces is happening with the nodes. And that's going to last all the way into early 2017. And it changes the whole dynamics of how our relationships play out. So the healing that will now be available to us will be incredible over the next couple of years. So Pisces and Virgo are about the small gestures that we make on a daily basis to each other that make life wonderful and worth living. So it's the caring and support that we offer to each other, the acts of kindness that we extend to others. These will really define the quality of our own lives and our relationships now. And you'll also focus more on the Pisces quality. The Piscean qualities of spirituality, of sisterhood, brotherhood, spiritual service, helping others with their sacred contracts, navigating your life from a soul-centered perspective. These are the shifts we're really going to experience, while the mutable signs of Virgo and Pisces are more activated with these two nodes moving in to that experience now. So you'll want to also understand where these two signs, Virgo and Pisces, and their ruling planets, Mercury and Neptune, are in your own birth chart, because that'll give you a really good idea about how and where, what part of your life these changes are going to take place in. So another thing is that on the 12th, Mars enters Libra. And so that means, again, the focus on our intimate relationships is super strong right now. Then on the 18th of November, Neptune stations and moves direct again. So it's been going retrograde, it's going to stop and move direct. Now, whenever Neptune changes direction, it's a fantastic opportunity to tune in on a deeper level to your intuition, because the spiritual signals and message you receive now will be really super strong and very transcendent. Now, when a planet changes direction, moves from retrograde to direct or vice versa, it stands still. And that is the moment its influence on our life is the greatest. Okay, now coming up, there's a major transit involving Neptune that we're going to feel this month, and it's going to go through most of 2016. And that's the square between Neptune and Saturn. And this is going to be exact the day after the full moon comes up near the end of the month. So it's actually going to be exact on American Thanksgiving. And I'm going to talk about this Neptune-Saturn square in much more detail on your full moon video coming up. So for now, just know that it will prompt you to strongly take your spiritual insights, your sacred downloads, and make them real. So to make your dream a reality, that's the big theme that's going to permeate everything. And it manifests through constant diligence and constant discipline. That's how Saturn is going to bring your vision into reality. So now, if you want a whole wonderful big preview of the amazing astronumerology events in 2016, click on the link in this video, because you'll be taken to a special page that introduces you to my 2016 Ultimate Yearly Forecast online seminar, where I reveal how everything unfolds in 2016, and most importantly, I reveal when all the hugely important moments of the 2016 astronumerology code of royalty will be activated. So have a wonderful new moon and mid-November, and I'll see you for your full moon video.